Hello, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to QOTD. It's the Question of the Day show for BeOnTheAir Games. I'm Keith, and here with JJ, and we're here to give you a special present of joy this Thursday. All week long, we've been sending you new QOTD questions, and you've been responding with your amazing, insightful, and really funny answers. And now, our internet audience, and that means you, will pick the best fan answers from the entire week and crown a new QOTD champion right here on the Thursday Big Show. What's that? You haven't recorded your answers yet? Well, it's not too late. We want you to join us on the air, so just click the links in chat when it says record. You can record your answers, and you too can be on the air. So JJ, what are we talking about this week?
Yes, so this week the theme is gifts. We're talking about the best presents you've ever received, the gift that you give yourself in the terms of guilty pleasure songs and disappearing worries. We're also talking about the other form of gifts, which is talents. You know, something that you'd want to be famous for, and what makes you and your family great. You know, the gifts that you each bring to the table. So we're covering all of it.
Why are you all stuck on gifts this week? Is it like because Valentine's Day is coming up, you're expecting something, or you didn't get enough for Christmas? I mean, like, what's going on there, JJ?
Well, I think we're sort of like in the in-between a bunch of different holidays that have gifts, like Christmas you mentioned, Hanukkah. If you haven't started thinking about your Valentine's Day gift, now is the time to do that. So it's a celebration and also a reminder.
Okay. All right. So that is an extremely rational justification for why we're talking about gifts when it's actually not a gift-giving season at all. But, you know, maybe that's it. Maybe it's the surprise gift that you get when you don't expect it. That's what you're fishing for. I hear you.
Yeah. Kitty Moore says in the chat, it's almost February. And exactly, that's why we're doing it. It's the January flew by. So, reminder.
So, speaking of gifts, why don't you give us the present of the first question?
Yes. And this one probably has the most to do with the theme. This question is, what is the most thoughtful gift you've ever received? And this is a key, who is it from? Because often, you know, the person who knows you the best, a person might get you a certain type of gift that means a certain something to you. So I think this most accurately represents the theme we want to know.
I actually have a great story for this. Because, you know, look, I was a kid that grew up. I got a bicycle once that was really good. Hey, once my brother even gave me his broken down car, and that was pretty awesome too. But, you know, the best gift I ever got actually came from my wife, because she knows me. And she had this dog, because she was, you know, staying at home and I was commuting a lot. And she trained this dog, and it was like an awesome dog, this Italian Spinoni bird dog. And it was big, and it was just a great dog. And the dog just absolutely loved her. And I was going off on a solo backpacking, a couple of days by myself in the woods. And that's a Spinoni. It's not that one. This was Otis, the one who came before that. And anyway, so I'm heading off in the woods with my backpack, and she just handed me the leash and some food. And she's like, yeah, that's your dog now. And it was the best. We bonded on our backpacking trip, and I came back, and that dog was my constant companion, my hero and inspiration, you know, for the rest of his life. It was the best gift I ever got. Nancy, you're the best. Thank you so much. It just brings me a tear to my eye, thinking about how much I love that dog. You totally knew me. And maybe that's the essence of great gifts, is somebody gives you something that you really need, or maybe something that you need and that you don't even know it, but they know it. That's a great gift. Anyway, that's my thinking about it. And that was the best present I ever got.
Yeah, no, that is a really, and not even better. I think the subtitle for today is the gift that keeps on giving. And that is just, a dog will love you unconditionally and just continuously. And you can't help but love a dog continuously as well.
Right. That and sexually transmitted diseases, the gifts that keep on giving. What a kid.
Yeah, no, the antibiotics manufacturers, they definitely, that's the gift that keeps on giving for them. Well, we got some other really great answers. In addition to Keith's, that was an amazing answer. But we have some other really great gifts that people told us about. So let's see what they have to say.
I would say receiving a coffee machine for college, as I am a college student. I didn't even know I needed a coffee machine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He didn't even know he needed it. And somebody knew. Hey, man, this is what you need.
Hi, I received a gift from a friend a few years ago while I was traveling away, and she had collected letters from all of my friends, my family, and put it together in a book with pictures of each one. And I still have it. It's probably been 10 years, but it's the sweetest gift I've ever received.
Yeah, this is like in the thought that counts category, right? It's just
The most thoughtful gift that I got is probably my moonstone ring. Look at that. Because my boyfriend gave it to me for Christmas with the intention of possibly proposing in the next year. I mean, who wouldn't be excited about that? Do you like?
I do like. I like a moonstone ring.
Moonstone ring.
Yeah.
Aren't those the ones that like make you like tell you how you're feeling, or is it the other ones? Oh, those are the mood rings.
I think that's just
The most thoughtful gift I ever got was from my husband. He made a video of our daughter pretending that she was a student at Hogwarts, and he learned all of this, like all of these tricks to do with the camera to make it look like she was doing magic, and it was amazing. It's something I still watch every year.
So it doesn't have to sparkle. It's really.
No. This question actually makes me a little bit sad because I've never had a best gift. I've never had a gift. My birthday is sandwiched between Christmas and New Year's Eve. And guess who gets skipped every year? Both ends. Oh, I'll get you something for your birthday. Oh, but not for Christmas.
And in the sour grapes category, we have pear.
Man, I think the most thoughtful gift that I've ever received was actually from my best friend's girlfriend. And she gave me some bourbon glasses for my birthday, and I still use them today. So, you know, I thought it was very thoughtful, and yeah.
So notice where Anthony's from. Like
Kentucky.
the capital of bourbon. So that was a good gift. Well, everybody, it's time to vote. We're going to pick one of these as being our favorite, and you can vote right in chat just by typing vote space and then the number of like who it is that you totally dig. You know, Rashid got a coffee maker, so if you like that, you would say vote space 1 because it was thoughtful, right? Or Anthony, bourbon glasses, talk about a gift that keeps on giving. That would be vote space 6. JJ, are we allowed to vote, or we shouldn't be voting?
I'm of the opinion that we shouldn't vote just so we can keep it, we can not meddle, you know, keep it fair.
No meddling. All right, it's going to be pure. I'm not going to vote. But I have a favorite in here.
Oh,
but it's not necessarily that you agree with it. What? 77% of the vote. And she got like a book. It's like almost like one of those scrapbooks that like tells the story of your life, but it was like all the people that she loved and that she was going to miss while she was traveling. And she got like a moment to like think on all of them and carry it with her. That's a great gift. Yeah. It's like saying, like, make sure to come home. Remember all these people. But that's super nice. I think there's a poll for this one. So, you know, we've been starting to do polls. And so the way the polls work is just the same way as the votes go. So why don't you put the question up, JJ?
Yes, here you go.
And so type vote space 1 if you think it should be something sparkly, like say a moonstone ring, or vote 2, a thoughtful gift, like maybe like a scrapbook with all of your wonderful friends, or vote space 3, like you didn't even know that it was gift giving time and somebody gave you a coffee maker because you really needed it. Or maybe you like cookies. I do like cookies. Banana bread, that's a good gift.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's something that, well, there you go. So the winner was something sparkly is the gift that people value most, which I think is like the moonstone ring, that type of gift. I
should make it clear that when you get the poll, if you're a subscriber, you get the polls during the week and you click there, those poll results are shown right there. So this isn't just people who voted this second. This is people who've been voting all week, either in the show or just in their YouTube feed. If you want to get those polls, by the way, you know, and everything else that we send to our subscribers, just go ahead and click subscribe. It don't cost nothing. And it's good for us. So come on, little love.
Yeah, exactly. A little love goes a long way. That can be your gift to us. Also, we should mention, let's go on to the next question.
I was saying thank you. I wasn't saying back.
Well, we have the second question. This was Saturday's question, and it is, what is your guilty pleasure song or album? The album or song that you love to bump when no one is watching. And that's, I feel like, a little like a personal gift, a gift to yourself, a bit of self-care. I think for me, I'm gonna say it's like early 2010s pop music, like Mr. Saxo Beat, Right Round by Flo Rida, Low by Flo Rida, like those ones.
So what is it that makes that a guilty pleasure as opposing to just be a pleasure?
I don't even know what it is.
Are you embarrassed? Like it's for you and you're not going to show it to your friends because it's like it doesn't like reflect your public identity?
A little bit, yeah. It's like it's not yet like 70s and 80s music that's like, oh, this is a classic song that you like can listen to like, I don't know. I feel like that's not quite cringy, but it's also not like of the time. It's not modern. So it's in that weird space where it's like, why are you listening to something from that was released when you were like 12?
Yeah, for me,
it's like enjoying that. It's that sort of thing.
It's all the songs that you want to like sing at the top of your lungs, like in your car or in the shower. Like you would never like in public. And the fear, of course, is that if it happens to show up like on some stream, and you're in public, you're going to have to sing it out loud anyway. Like for me, it's Meatloaf. You know Meatloaf? Bat Out of Hell? Paradise by the...
I've heard the name.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Rock on.
Honestly, though, that's yeah. I mean, it's a good skill to have, though, just being able to break out a cheesy song. Because, I mean, it's hard to know whether it's better to act like, oh, isn't it crazy that I'm singing this? Or just to go all in. But if you go all in, that's a skill.
Karaoke training.
Precisely. Well, we got some other guilty pleasure songs coming, so let's see if anyone agrees with us about Meatloaf or Flo Rida.
A guilty pleasure song of mine, it is Too Good at Goodbyes, like Goodbyes by Sam Smith. You must think that I'm stupid. You must think that I'm a fool. But I have sang this song before, okay? I'm too good at goodbyes, all right? I am too good at goodbyes. Listen to the man and what he said what he...
Okay.
There you go.
Taylor Swift, Shake It Off. I don't care what nobody says. Taylor Swift, she bump. That girl got hits. I'll be the one to be like, hey, yo, put that Taylor Swift on. Because she bump. She really do. I feel too late. Got nothing in my brain.
Yeah, no, again, you're so popular that you're unhip, but you know, you're popular for a reason, you know?
Oh, this one's a piece of cake. It's tearing up my heart when I'm with you. It's NSYNC every single time. Every week, at least once a week at the gym, I am playing the original NSYNC album, just titled NSYNC. And that's the #1 song I go to all the time. NSYNC is my jam. They always have been. They always will be. And I am not ashamed.
So that is classic. NSYNC or One Direction? Which is your book? I know.
I can't say I have a specific guilty pleasure song or album, but what I feel guilty about when listening to specific songs or albums is the type of emotion that it elicits. Like, if I'm feeling sad, listening to a sad album is like feeling guilty in supporting that negative emotion.
Yeah, wallowing in that emotion, I think is the phrase you're searching for, Elisha.
What would your guilty pleasure song or album be? Well, it's another sort of oldie, but it's beautiful, and it's from an old film with Sidney Poitier called To Sir With Love, where Lulu sings a song To Sir With Love. Those schoolgirl days of telling tales and biting nails are gone, but in my mind.
So yeah, I get all worked up. I love that stuff.
The Uber Eats commercial, Uber One's commercial that features the girls from Vanderpump Rules singing Sheena Shea's song, Good as Gold. Good as gold. It's in my head all the time. And I want to say I don't like the song, but I like it. I especially like the Uber One version.
That's so funny. So notice the stars above Taylor's head. I'm going to go back and talk about that in a second. But right now, it is time for us to vote. Everybody just go into the chat and type vote space and then like who did you totally agree with? Which is your guilty pleasure song, the song that you listen to that maybe you don't want everybody else to know? Just go ahead and type that in the chat and vote away. It is hard. I'm not going to let myself, taint the results by voting, but I've got some thoughts. But I wanted to talk about the stars across the top. When you see like the stars on top of people with numbers on it, that's kind of their reputation. And having a good reputation enables you to be seen more often and get the votes and make it to the big show. And so by sending stars to people, you're helping them, make it right here to the big championship. How are you going to not, when she goes out and sings? It's like bringing your dog into, the video. Everybody loves those.
Yeah, I will say, commendation to, I think the only one who didn't sing was Alicia. Everyone else like broke out into song, which, you know what? We'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Let it out.
Yeah, we should have like our own QOTD karaoke album with like all the best songs, which would include everyone that just got mentioned.
Yes, like Kids Bop, except QOTD Bop.
How funny would that be? All right. This question will come up again.
Yes, and keep in mind for this question, this isn't just about your guilty pleasure song. This is your audition to be on the album. Well, thank you so much, Fifi Bell. I believe we also have a poll for this question, so let us get into that. Yes. So we have your guilty pleasure song is a pop earworm, a rock classic, a cheesy, heartfelt ballad, or an EDM house banger song, like straight from the 2010s.
And I should have said EDM. I'm a big, Two Friends fan. Might go see them in February out in Los Angeles. But nevertheless, I voted for a rock classic because we love it. Oh. So what's a pop earworm example?
Ooh, I think this one, the first one that comes to mind, isn't so much a guilty pleasure song, but it's definitely like a pop earworm. Like girls just want to have fun. Kesha songs like TikTok by Kesha. That's a big one. Like just songs that just have a thumping beat.
And they get into your head and you can't get rid of them unless you like find another song to replace it. Yeah, no, it's like having a cavity. Fill that cavity with something where you're just going to have that pain. Yeah, I get it. I agree. Good one. No wonder that one's number one. Everybody on particularly in the subscriber feed, that one really rocketed.
Oh yeah. Even Kitty Amore in the chat says, "My Lord and Savior Kesha." There's nothing wrong with loving Kesha. We love Kesha here. Wow. Let's move on to the next question. I think the next gift of the week. This is for Sunday, and it is. Oh, this is fun. If you could make just one of your worries disappear right now, which worry would you choose?
And this was funny. We had a good talk about this when we were building the poll. Like we had to enumerate the things that people are really worried about. And people worry about their health, and they worry about kids, and they worry about money, obviously. And then they worry about, like Taylor Swift and Kelsey, are they gonna is that gonna end up in a marriage or whatever? We worry about the fate of our favorite stars. But I gotta say that to me it seems like health is most important, but it's not the one that sits on the top of my mind. I think that for most people it's about the money, right? Because money seems to solve all the rest of the problems. Oh yeah, relationships. That was the big one. Right? Because without relationships, who are you? So there was a lot of stuff in there, but I got to say the immediate panacea of having some jingle in your pocket, that's where I would go. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I agree. If money wasn't a problem, though, we actually have another question that's like, if money were no object, what would your dream job be? And it's like, money, it's something that you always have to worry about in every decision you make. So to not have to worry about it.
Maybe other people are less petty than I am and are thinking the big picture. Yeah.
I think a lot of people agree with you, but let's see in the form of gift, what gift do you give to yourself in the form of
As a parent, you're always worried about your kids. So if I could get rid of one worry, it would be about like my kids, never having to worry about them, you know, in their health or their life or anything, just knowing that they would be fine for their whole lives. That would be, that would lead to a lot more restful nights, because anybody who's a parent knows you just never stop worrying about your kids. It's like a constant 24/7 thing, and it goes on forever. So yeah, kids, not having to worry about them would be.
I gotta say, my kids are like getting like moving on 25 to 30.
I would want to stop worrying about one eye being bigger than the other. Now you all are looking at my eyes, right? Can you tell which one's bigger and which one's smaller?
Yeah.
I hope your answer is no.
I can't even tell. I can't see
If I could make one thing disappear, one worry, it would be money. Just, and I know I'm preaching to the choir to everybody on that respect, but it would definitely be money. I mean, being able to focus 100% of just mental fortitude towards my career of voice acting and not have to worry about paying for groceries, helping out family members, keeping your health up, just money for everything, I'm learning as I got older. And it would be great to be done, but we all have responsibilities, and that's okay.
Of course, there is the counter saying more money, more problems.
They do say that.
This one is probably the same for most people, which would be money. I don't want to be working to just be surviving. I would love for there to be some way for all of us to not be spending our money on like housing and electricity, but to be spending our money on our creative endeavors and like pursuing our passions. I just think the world would be a happier place, not just for me, but for everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, someone's got to bring in the paycheck.
If you could make one worry of yours disappear right now, what would it be? Well, I've got to say, it's got to be the Wonga worry. Yeah, you know, the money, the Wonga, because there's not enough of it. Mortgages in the UK have quadrupled in the last 6 months. Quadrupled. So it's very scary. Very scary. You know, and we all need some Wonga.
Yeah. Wonga, Wonga.
Wonga.
If I could make one worry disappear right now, it would probably be to have a job. After job searching for months, it gets kind of dull and tedious trying to find something that's good for after graduation, but that you don't have 10 years of experience for.
Yeah, career. It's not money. It's the other thing. It's like, what's your path in life? Guys, it's time for us to vote. There were some big thoughts in here. Brendan says kids. Taylor says that eye that she's kind of covering with her hair a little bit there. That's too big. Jeremy says money. London says, I want to pursue my passion, not money. Fifi Bell says more Wonga, which means money. And Hannah's like, my career, what's my path? Where am I going? You know? Nobody said world peace, but there's still big issues here. Guys, you can vote in the chat by typing vote, space, and then the number. If you're on BeOnTheAir.com, just mash the blue button corresponding to one of these lovely faces.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fancy wins. Fifi Bell.
Wonga Wonga.
Wonga Wonga.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Rest. Yeah. But you know, but I hear you. It's like once that's gone, you've got other worries. And they're maybe more significant, but it's like hard to even get to thinking about the other stuff, right? Like, oh, a lot of these kids' worries, wouldn't they be solved with a little bit more Wonga? You know,
yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Look at the president. He's got kid problems, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they always say like money can't buy happiness, but I say money can't buy happiness, but it's nicer to cry in a Ferrari than it is to cry somewhere else.
Well said. Another thought well expressed. Yeah, let's go see whether the our non-recording audience say, listen, anybody can record. It's so easy. Click the link in the chat. But if you're not feeling it, just go ahead and click one of these polls. It's another way of being on the air. And by the way, if you're a subscriber on YouTube, these polls just show up in your inbox. So you vote by typing vote, space, and a thing. What am I going to say? Love or relationships? Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
I wonder what the people say.
Yeah, I'm very curious. Oh, so most people are saying health worries. They're worried about just health things, which honestly, I get it. Sometimes I'll like feel a pain like somewhere, and I'm like, is this the beginning of the end?
Hey, my sciatica. Yeah, definitely. We have other questions that go to the issue of things start to hurt as you get older, but yeah, listen, take it from a guy who's been like sick and then recovered. I was really sick, and you know what? When you're not feeling well, there's nothing else that you can think about. Nothing. So yeah, I'm not surprised that is the number one thing is when you got your health, you got everything.
Yes. Yes. Well, congratulations to who was it? Was it
Fifi Bell with her second entry.
Wow. Congratulations, Fifi Bell. We will see you in the final round of today's big show. I think we have 4 more questions to go. Let's get into it with Monday. And this one is kind of fun. It's if you got to be a celebrity walking the red carpets, what would you want to be famous for? Would you want to do singing, acting, dancing? What gift would you want to put on display?
Or maybe you just want to be famous for being famous, like, the Kardashians or somebody like that.
Yeah. Honestly, I was thinking about it, and on that last point, I do think it would be kind of cool to be famous for just being famous. Like, I was thinking, like, I think the modern iteration of that is, like, people will get famous or go viral for certain memes that they're a part of. I remember there was this one woman who, like, she like sang a song on TikTok, someone duetted her and like gave an instrumental background, and then she was like, yeah, I started making money off of that, which I didn't even know you could do. But like something like that where it's just like you're known for, like, you inhabit people's minds, you're used for communication, that would be kind of fun.
You're an earworm.
Yeah. Guilty pleasure song.
So this is a gift from the universe, to go back to our gift theme. Your celebrity superpower given to you by fate. If you got to choose that, what do you want to be famous for?
Yeah. Let's see what the people have to say on it. I think a lot of people want to put in more effort than I do. But we'll see.
If I got to be a celebrity, maybe I'd like to become famous for acting in a movie or being a voice actor. But what I really want to become famous for, if I were to be a celebrity, is that I would be a celebrity who is a good person, who is kind to others, who doesn't exploit others, and is one of those actors where if you meet them at a restaurant or something, they're just a good person and don't, let anything get to their head. I really just want to be someone other people can look up to.
Paul Newman. Right?
Yes.
Makes great.
If I got to be a celebrity, I would definitely want to be one of those mid-tier celebrities that did work with period dramas. I geek out on those, like Rain, Bridgerton. Obviously, everyone loves Bridgerton, but I would love to just be like a smaller, still famous actress that gets to wear those gowns and travel and go to these castles, like every girl's dream. So yeah, I'd want to be famous for being able to act.
B-level character actor, but I'm with you. I'm so into these.
If I became a celebrity and became famous, what would I become famous for? I would become famous for my animations. Now, I love animation, right? And so I would want to create like a show, some movies, and people will love it. They'll get Oscars, Emmys, they'll be all over the place. Like, it would be like the best thing ever. They'll be super popular and it'll be super good too.
Yeah, and she's got a skill. She's obviously working on it. I like that. That's a dream.
Yeah. Pursue it.
If I got to be a celebrity, it would be, I'll be famous for cooking. So a celebrity chef. I love cooking, I love eating, and everything about, bistro or gastronomy, going to different restaurants, trying new recipes from all around the world. So definitely a celebrity chef.
But don't you have to be really mean to be a celebrity chef? Isn't that like part of the whole thing?
Yes, chef.
Probably being a superstar athlete, playing basketball for the NBA.
There you go.
That's what do you say? Atmospheric celebrity.
I'd say being a producer for music. That'd be nice to be famous, I guess, for that. maybe like, well, not, yeah, I like Kanye. I don't know, except without the crazy, I'd say, but he's awesome. So as far as the music is concerned.
So he's another one who wants to be known for his craft, like Rihanna and Annabelle. So I dig that, but I also totally get where other people are coming from. But it's not up to me, it's up to you. Audience, it's time for us to vote. You can vote right there in the chat by typing vote, space, and a number, and that's it. When you chat that, our bot reads that and then like plops it up into the show. The show changes based on how you're voting. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see who wins. I think a lot of people, as I hoped, they chose actual talents, which is good.
Yeah, but I love Sonia. It's like I just want to be a B-level like actor in a historical drama because then I get to go places, right? So that's what she was about.
True. She's castle bound.
Elias wants to be famous. I mean, he wants to be famous. And then he also wants to be famous for being nice. He didn't just say, I just want to be so nice that everybody knows me. Like maybe that, what's that Scandinavian gal who like is all about the environment. So she's just famous for being, into her thing. But now he wants to be famous. And then like when he shows up in a restaurant, he'll sign people's autographs and be cool. But yeah, Paul Newman is our guy. Paul Newman, like, he left Hollywood early. He's got one wife, if you can believe it, only, one his whole life. And then he gives everything away to charity. He's an older guy now, but long, many decades of just niceness and just being a normal person.
There you go. That's how, and also I feel like Jack Black also. I feel like I never hear bad things about him. So I feel like it's just like once you reach the stardom.
I love Jack Black.
Coast.
Yeah. Be cool. Be cool.
Easy.
Be uncool. Be cool.
Done.
I'm working on that part first. Stardom comes later. I just want to be cool.
Yeah. Have a good foundation to build your stardom off of. I get it.
It'd be great. I'd be a great celebrity.
Yes.
Well,
exactly. I think we have a poll for this question. So let's see what the poll is. Yes. So what would you like to be famous for? We have some options. Singing your heart out as a famous singer. Sick dance moves. Or are you a good dancer? Bringing the laughs as a comedian, which we didn't talk a lot about. Or being a supermodel. So strutting down the catwalk, modeling some clothes. I feel like the comedian one, I feel like comedians are kind of on the rise. I'm seeing a lot more famous comedians, I feel like.
It's hard to do these days, but yeah, look, oh my gosh. Everybody totally agrees with you.
Wow.
Totally agrees with you. But that's a hard path. I got to say, you look at these comedians today and, the risk taking that makes humor funny is one that comes up and bites these guys all the time. But, who doesn't like funny? I like funny. You like to laugh? It's one of my favorite things to do.
I love to laugh. Well, I feel like also what's tough about being a comedian with like singing and dancing, you can really perfect your craft and then become famous. With a comedian, it's hard to like become a really good comedian and then make it big. You have to like put yourself in front of people first to really get your comedy craft honed in.
And that hurts. That's going to be painful, a painful learning process. You know what's like that? Being a boxer. You just got to get punched a million times. That's what I think is the best parallel to being a comedian. Comedy's not pretty, as Steve Martin used to say. Maybe he still says.
Yeah. What's worse, being punched in the face or delivering a joke and no one laughs?
I'm going to take punch in the face.
Same. Well, I think we can move on to the next question. Thank you everyone for voting. And Alicia, we will see you in the final round, which is coming up very fast. So next question is, this is fun. We're giving the gift of travel with, if you could work remotely from anywhere, which paradise would you call home?
Yeah, I have thought about this one a lot because, I was like a commuter, right? 5 days a week, probably hour and a half, and I loved it. But I think that that something else is sort of more conducive to, a richer life than just commuting. So I would definitely like opt into the remote work thing, but it can also be very isolating. Like, how do you interact with other people and learn and build relationships and just get the richness of your life from work? Like, work isn't supposed to be just a chore. Work is part of what makes us happy. So I think that being kind of like in a suburb where I could go into a city and see my people, once or twice a week. So, I would go like some place around New York City, maybe an hour out. Kind of what I worked out.
Love it. Yeah, it sounds like you're living the dream.
The exotic, right? You probably want to go to like Antarctica, right? Antarctica or Bali, one of those two.
The two options for remote work: Antarctica and the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of more of a beach person myself, so you were right on the money with that one. But definitely the suburb, being able to just commute, see everyone, and have the option of what to do, that's very nice too.
Yeah, if you live on the beach though, don't tell anybody. I don't want to hire somebody who lives on the beach. What happens when the surf's up? You're gone. Antarctica. Most days, you're ready to work.
Exactly. Where else are you going to go?
We'll see. Maybe that's Antarctica.
What?
I said maybe somebody else among our audience also says Antarctica. We shall see.
Yes, we shall see. Let's see what the audience had to say.
I would probably go to Tokyo because I've always wanted to visit Japan. I'm such a huge Japanophile. I love Japanese culture. I love Japanese food, Japanese anime, Japanese songs. So I really want to soak up Japanese culture in Tokyo.
So an exotic city. I like that idea. That's a good idea.
If they were going to give me a free round trip to anywhere, I would go to Japan. I would definitely go to Japan so I can do all the shopping and sightseeing that I want. That would make me happy. If not Japan, then Ireland. I would love to go there too, just to visit.
Trying to think if there are things that they have in common.
Hawaii, Bali, Japan, Indonesia. Wait, that's Bali. That's the same thing. Look, I'm just so flustered and so excited. I could go anywhere, Jamaica, you name it. Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take it. I can work and travel at the same time. We globetrotting.
So I think what he's saying is he just wants to be on the move.
Yeah.
It's not one particular place.
I would go to somewhere in Asia, either Thailand, Taiwan, Korea, Japan, Hong Kong. One of those islands. Any one of them is fine.
Asia.
Wow. We are going to Southeast Asia with this one.
If I'd get paid to live and work remotely anywhere, it would be Mexico, because I love it there. It's very warm. It has nice beaches.
Yeah, no, I've spent a lot of time in Mexico. I love it. When I was a kid.
Hawaii is offering free round trips for people to come and work there for remote work. I think if anywhere I could go and work, it would be Ireland. I would love to go and work in Ireland. I love the people there, and if I could just do it for free, that's what I would be doing.
Another vote for Ireland. Low taxes.
That's big.
I don't know. I've never been. I want to go. Well, guys, where do you want to go? Tell us by voting for one of these people. Just vote right in the chat. Just type vote space and then the number. Is it going to be like Sharon, some like exotic city, or Destiny, like an exotic city, but also Ireland? Billy, he wants to be on the move, like on one of those cruises that never stops. Eileen says Asia. Nick, Mexico. Josh, another vote for Ireland. Vote for one of these guys and send them to the final round. Kitty Moore. She likes that. She likes that, like the safari that never ends. It's like the Beach Boys song, On Safari to Stay. But there's a cruise, that does that. Nick, Mexico. Muy divertido. Yeah, no, Mexico's a great place. But it's like the US, where it's got like so many different climates. You really do get your choices of many, many different places, going from tropical to desert to lots and lots of beaches, like beautiful oceans. There's a lot there. Yeah, I have very, very fond memories. By the way, I'm going to say something very controversial here. The best beer in the world comes from Mexico. I'm just going to come right out and say it. But congratulations, Nick. You are going to the finals with Mexico. You funny guy.
He's a comedian. He has that skill on lock. Well, let's see. I think we definitely have a poll for this question. So let's see what the audience thinks, the non-recorders. So if you could remotely work from anywhere, would you do a tropical paradise, a mountain airy, a bumping city, and a lively city, or you're good where you're at. You have found the place you want to work remotely from. You're good.
Yeah, mountain airy is like an eagle's nest. It's like way, way up there.
Oh, okay.
You know, Game of Thrones, where Robin lived. Oh, it's a tie. It's a tie.
Wow. Very good.
Huh. Interesting. But yeah, just, someplace. What nobody said was they want to stay right where they are. So there, I guess the grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah. Well, as we know, it's always going to be, if you were on the beach, you would probably be like, I know Kitty Moore mentioned like getting sand in your keyboard. You're like, oh, I want to go into the mountains. If you're in the mountains, you want to go to the city. If you're in the city, you want to go to the beach.
But that's a good point. I hate sand. Of course, it gets everywhere.
Star Wars reference check. That was a good one. Let's move right along to the next question of the week. This one is for yesterday, for Wednesday. This one is, what makes your pet the best pet in all the world? We're talking the gift that is your pet. We all love our pet. As we mentioned with the your story, Keith, pets, they just keep on giving. They're just so cute. They love you and you love them. I think
we just be more like our pets.
Literally. They're perfect in every way. I think my dog, one thing that I love that my dog does, it's not like a trick or anything, but like the way that she sits on couches, her legs are way too long for her body, so she will like perch herself and she'll like have to lean back a little bit because her paws they're too long. She's like, oh, I have to sit back a little bit. And she looks so proper. She looks like a proper young lady.
So you're saying it's the category of general cuteness. That's why your Doodle?
Yes, Golden Doodle.
Goodle, is the best in the world because it's just so darn cute. Interesting.
Yes.
It is cute. I've seen your dog. I like your dog.
Yes, and your dogs are also adorable.
Thank you very much.
I think now we can get into the answers. Let's see if anyone's dogs or cats or animals are as cute as ours. I doubt it, but we'll see.
What makes my pet the best pet in the world? Well, I have this wonderful cat. Her name is Gladys. Gladys is like a dog. I promise you, she really is. She does exactly what she's supposed to do. She recognizes who's in charge, and she recognizes that if she's not paying rent, she gets no say. I love her. She's my cat. She's my girl. She knows who the boss is.
Not likely.
She's playing.
It's my pet. The best pet in the world is that they can float. Yeah, it's a rubber duck. Their name is Ducky, and Ducky can speak. What's up, Ducky? Dude, you need to see a therapist. That's rude.
She's like a performance artist, right? She's saying something, but she's saying the opposite, actually.
My pet Prim is the cutest in the whole world, and she's really affectionate and really sweet, and she'll walk over to you and just wait to be petted or try to pet you. So she's really, really cute.
I'm guessing Prim is a dog? Because I've never seen a person, but I have seen dogs do that.
So what makes my pet the best pet in the world is that she's always been there for us. We got her when she was 6 weeks old, and she's been a lifesaver. She knows when something is not right with one of us. and she'll like comfort you, which I think is so awesome.
So yeah, that sounds like a great. She says dog lover, so
my golden retriever is the best dog in the world because she sheds so much in a given week that it's like boom, another dog.
Yeah, I hear you. There's nothing better than when a dog sheds all over the place.
I think that my dog is probably the best dog in the world because he has a big imagination. He thinks he's a pretty small dog. He thinks that he's the security guard, right? He thinks that he's gonna get things done. He's gonna be in his attack position, ready to go when there's actually nothing there. Doorbell rings, he's on duty, right? And he thinks that he can protect us. And it's cute, really, but I think he's the best because he believes he is the best, so.
Starts on the inside. Well, guys, it is time for us to vote. We're going to send your favorite answer to the final round. You vote in the chat by typing vote space 1. Is it going to be Brad, who's got a cat that's in charge? Vaf's rubber ducky. Devin's got Prim. Prim's there for them. Jenny, like, they got a cat who's really always there for you, who, like, empathizes, understands, and is proactive in helping her family. Paul N likes a shedding dog. I'm with you, man. And Ramon, her dog has delusions of grandeur, and that is so nice.
Well, it's always like the little dogs, the little animals that are the fiercest protectors, think they can defend against anything.
But it's what's on the inside that counts. I'm telling you, I think that like post office workers and people like that are mostly afraid.
Yeah, good point.
Hey, Woot.
Gladys.
Brad always has something good to say, something thoughtful or something funny. But
Yeah.
your cat, I don't know. I have a lot of cats. I like them, and they get their job done. But their job is mousing, you know, and I respect them. So
Yeah.
Cat
Well, it's
sick.
like yeah, I feel like cats are like master manipulators in a sense. So he's like, she acknowledges that I'm the alpha dog in the household.
But
I disagree. Sorry. Well, I think we also have a poll for this question. It was Brad. We will see you in the final round. That I think after the next question is here. So we'll see you soon. But first, we have a poll. So what makes your pet the best in all the world? We have cuteness, we have talent, comedy, your pet is just hilarious, or a really good story, either about your pet, how you got your pet maybe. We want to hear from you. So let's see what the fans have to say, the viewers have to say on this.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I had a cat save me from certain death. That's a good cat. Yeah. So that's what the audience says. And they do make you laugh. You know, my dog does something similar to what yours does. My dog, like, when she's sitting down, she's so ladylike. She crosses her legs like that when she's like, it's just so cute. It's like, why does she do that? The other dogs don't do that. But the princess did.
Yes, it's training, princess training. It's next thing you're going to see your dog doing like the princess wave. Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, no, I can see why comedy wins. Pets are hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have one more question for the week. And this is today's question, which is we just asked about the gift that is your pet. Now we're asking about the gift that is your family. What makes your family different, wonderful, unique, all of those words?
So I don't think you've ever met my extended family. You've met my wife and kids. Yeah, no, I have brothers and obviously parents, and unfortunately they're all still with me, but they're totally different than my little nuclear family. They are like rough and tumble, you know, and we were as little kids, and there was a lot of fighting and a lot of, you know, a lot of action going on, and so everybody's very rough and very critical, and that's not what makes them wonderful. But what makes them wonderful is that, like, if somebody has a problem, if somebody's sick, if somebody needs something, like, everybody is on it, like their life depends on it. They're so loyal and like are willing to like just dig in for everybody, and it's happened again and again and again. And so that's what I'm going to say is, like, you know, if your family is about like the family, you know, then your family's like mine, and I think that makes them great.
Yeah, your family's got to stick together. I like it. Well, I think that's honestly a really great answer. Let's see how people compare, and if anyone else has as ride or die, I guess is the best term I can think of, as your family is.
I'm an Indian, and my family is very accepting of other identities and religions, which is not always the case, because there are some people that like to stay within themselves, stay within their community. But my family is very accepting of others, and I think that's just what makes them different and wonderful, because I don't get to see a lot of that from other Indian families, and my family is just very chill and very open to hearing other people's opinions, and they love learning about other people's beliefs and customs and religion, and I just think that makes my family different, and it's amazing.
It's great. I mean, Indians are certainly not the only, culture and ethnicity that are very.
This question is really easy to answer because my family comes from two different backgrounds. My father is Muslim and he's Arab, Sudanese to be specific, and my mom is Hungarian and she was raised up in Christianity. And I turned out to be a believer in none, but I do believe that we all are one. that we all.
That's great. He appreciates that.
Honestly, the fact that we're all still together. My husband and I are still together. My parents are still together, and his parents are still together. I'd say that's pretty different and pretty wonderful.
Solid. Yeah, it's hard to learn those traits that keep relationships going for a long time. Congratulations.
What makes your family different and wonderful? I believe the answer is magic. They can disappear.
Oh my god. Performance art.
I love my family because they're just unique. There's no one like them on earth because they're their own people and they have their own personalities and they have their own unique flaws. And what's the opposite of a flaw? Benefits? I don't know.
So are they wacky? It sounds like they're wacky. Devin, is your family wacky?
Well, eat together, fun together, and celebrate together makes my family wonderful. Thank you.
Love that.
Right now,
once again,
I remember that one. You got to celebrate together.
Yes.
Yeah. So these were great answers. It's time for us to vote. Unfortunately, only one answer can go to the final round. So you got to pick them. Ramon's family is very accepting of others. Smiley, like the diverse background of his family adds richness to his life. Sarah's like, hey, we're solid. We're together. And that's rare. It's so true. Vath, your family is absent. And that's what makes them great. We've all felt that way. Devin, your family is unique, possibly wacky. G.O.A.T, they celebrate together. And that's what makes them great, wonderful, and unique. I do think that's a great trait. So let's hear it.
Let's do it. I think all really great answers. A whole lot of togetherness, which I'm glad. That is a gift, is togetherness. Truly.
Smiley made me laugh. He really did. He was laughing, and you could just see he's like just thinking about like how great they are and what joy they bring to him. He just burst out laughing. That is just unspeakably cool. So congratulations, Smiley. You're going to the final rounds with a really great answer.
Yeah. Also the great answer. Congratulations. Before we go to the final round, which is actually right after this question, we have another poll, the last poll of the show. So make it count. Oh, this one is fun. So we were talking about family, but we are a media company. We love TV. So we're asking, what TV family is your family like? Is it like Modern Family, crazy and big and fun? Succession, uber competitive? Are they together like Full House? Do they just love each other? Or are they just hilarious like the Bob's Burgers family?
I got to go Modern Family for me.
Yeah. There you go. A tie between Modern Family and Full House. I think if your family was like Succession, that would be more worrying than wonderful.
They're out there. This goes back to, if you have the gift of money, there's going to be a certain competition for it. So maybe we're being gifted by not having wealthy parents. Maybe that's the goodness of our lives. But that's really fun. But I've met your family is like so cool. I love your family. I love your parents. I love your sister.
Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh.
You guys are a great family.
Thank you. Yeah, no, we definitely bonded a lot during the pandemic, but since then, we continue to try to be cool and fun. And also your family, your family is obviously also very cool. One specific thing is that your family is very good at making drinks, which is like that's a gift, is the art of mixology.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, I've gotten cookies from JJ's household. It's like a Christmas gift. Speaking of gifts, and yeah, that's really good. But yeah, no, we pride ourselves, much like Jawad's family. We like to celebrate together.
Incredible, love it, and what you do, amazing celebrations. Well, the time has come. We've asked all 7 questions. We have 7 winners, and that means the only thing left to do is the championship round.
Yeah.
Woo!
Wow, of all of these great answers, and it's sort of sad that we have to do it, right? Because hundreds of people answer 7 different questions during the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then just the best make it to the show. And then out of each question, there's only one answer that makes it to the final round. And so now we're going to pick from among those great best answers to each question and pick the one answer that really moved and inspired us for the entire week. Who had the best answer? Let's find out.
Let's do it. Quick recap of the winners.
Hi, I received a gift from a friend a few years ago while I was traveling away, and she had collected letters from all of my friends, my family, and put it together in a book with pictures of each one. And I still have it. It's probably been 10 years, but it's the sweetest gift I've ever received.
While I was answering the question, what is the best gift that you've ever received?
What would your guilty pleasure song or album be? Well, it's another sort of oldie, but it's beautiful, and it's from an old film with Sidney Poitier called To Serve With Love, where Lulu sings a song to serve with love. Those school tears and biting nails are gone, but in my mind.
It is a great song. So, Fifth answering the question is what's your guilty pleasure?
If you could make one worry of yours disappear right now, what would it be? Well, I've got to say, it's got to be the Wonga worry. Yeah, the money, the Wonga, because there's not enough of it. Mortgages in the UK have quadrupled in the last 6 months. Quadrupled. So it's very scary. Very scary. And we all need some Wonga.
And so this is the question from from Sunday.
If I got to be a celebrity, maybe I'd like to become famous for acting in a movie or being a voice actor. But what I really want to become famous for, if I were to be a celebrity, is that I would be a celebrity who is a good person, who is kind to others, who doesn't exploit others, and is one of those actors where if you meet them at a restaurant or something, they're just a good person and don't let anything get to their head. I really just want to be someone other people can look up to.
Yeah, if you were instantly given the gift of celebrity, what would you like to be famous for? He treasured the gift of humility.
If I'd get paid to live and work remotely anywhere, it would be Mexico, because I love it there. It's very warm. It has nice beaches.
If you could work from anywhere in the world, where would it be? It's a comedic version of Mexico.
What makes my pet the best pet in the world? Well, I have this wonderful cat. Her name is Gladys. Gladys is like a dog. I promise you, she really is. She does exactly what she's supposed to do. She recognizes who's in charge, and she recognizes that if she's not paying rent, she gets no say. I love her. She's my cat. She's my girl. She knows who the boss is.
Yeah. This is Wednesday's question. What makes your pet amazing and wonderful?
This question is really easy to answer because my family comes from 2 different backgrounds. My father is Muslim and he's Arab, Sudanese to be specific, and my mom is Hungarian and she was raised up in Christianity. And I turned out to be a believer in none, but I do believe that we all are one. that we all can.
Yeah. So what is it that makes your family different and wonderful. Smiley says, man, their diverse backgrounds is added immeasurably to who he is and the pleasure that he gets from life. I thought that was super cool. Hey guys, it is time for us to vote. We got to pick our champion of the week, which is the answer that you found most inspiring or that you agreed with or that made you laugh. You could go ahead and vote by typing in the chat. Sadly, you can only vote for Fifi Bell once, though she appears twice because she had two great answers to two different questions. Yeah, that was Saturday and Sunday. She was busy over the weekend. Yeah. Ooh, Brad's on top. Brad is sadly being deceived by his cat. He says his cat is the most special cat in the whole world because he knows that Brad is in charge. I think it is very unlikely, but nevertheless, your delusion was very amusing and the audience agreed. Everybody voted for you and you are our champion of the week with the best answer to all of this week's QOTD questions. Congratulations, Brad J. I've seen Brad answer questions before. He is a panic. Hopefully we'll be seeing plenty more of you. Make sure to click record if you want to get your own answers in the show and send stars to your favorite videos. It helps them get seen more often so that people can vote for them throughout the week. Remember, those votes throughout the week are what put you right here on the Thursday Bitch Show. Congratulations, Brad. So JJ, now this week ends and we are heading into a brand spanking new week with a brand new theme and a new set of questions. Obviously, those questions will come out each day. What are we talking about this week?
Yes, so this week we are talking about music. So this is in honor of the Grammys, which are coming up on February 4th, as well as the Super Bowl halftime show by Usher on February 11th. So this week we're talking all about music. We're talking about your favorite albums to make out to. We're talking about if you had a dream Super Bowl halftime show, what would it be? Who would be in it? We're talking your favorite concerts. We're talking about your first school dance. And we're even delving into some historical music, some historical parties to see what your music tastes would be in like the 70s or the 80s.
I have some exciting answers to all those questions, particularly school dance, man. Those were like, what a throwback that is. Did they still have school dances when you were coming up?
Yeah, no, they had, we had prom, we had homecoming. Those are the big two, but yeah, they were fun.
8th grade, 7th grade. Oh my gosh. Led Zeppelin 4. That was the album of my 7th grade, big social at the end of the year. But I'm sure that you guys all have great stories. Music is so important to us. I can't wait to see what everybody has to say to all these questions. As I was saying, the questions come out every day, starting tomorrow morning. You can get them in your inbox just by subscribing to YouTube right here. To click on the channel button. Or just come over to our channel, QOTD Game. You'll see that we're running 24 hours a day with a new question every single day. And then this 24-hour show where you can see what everybody has to say. You can answer their questions just by clicking the record link. And you can vote and send stars and, I don't know, maybe just kind of get in touch with lots of people. I really like it. So I can't wait to see it all.
Yes, and we cannot wait to see you on TV.
Yeah, exactly. Can't wait to see you on TV. So long, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Yes, bye. See you next week.
Oh, yeah. See you on the...